So Wolves fall just short against Las Palmas at the Marbella Football Centre this evening. Losing out 3 goals to 2 to the Spanish club. My name is Dave from Talking Wolves. Talking you through the action, giving my thoughts on the third pre-season friendly under Bruno Lage. As always, guys, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Wolves kicking off with what looks like sort of like a three at the back again. I think it was Jose Sarr starting in goal. We saw Nelson Semedo at right wing back, Romain Saiz, Mosquera and Marcel as the centre backs, Reinhard Nouri as a left wing back, Trincao, Matinho, Neves and Silva and Patrick Cutrone. And Wolves are actually by half time 2-0 down. Some good passages of play and then some not so good passages of play, and I think that's what Wolves need to cut out in the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks or so. Just the sloppiness and just sort of tightening up in certain areas. Really, I think it was. I saw many opinions on social media that some I agreed with, some that I didn't agree with, and I think that's going to be quite common over the next couple of weeks or so. Whilst Bruno picks his best 11, picks his best system, because he is trying different systems out. It's not just the 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 we've seen. We've seen, like I said today, like a 3-5-2. So there's different systems that he's going to be trying. But for argument's sake, that first half, I didn't dislike the role Neves was having, whereas I know a couple of people didn't really like that and think we need more physical and quicker midfielders, which I think is fair enough and a fair comment. But I just liked that in that first half, how Neves just found those pockets of spaces to pick up the ball from deep and sort of, spray that ball across the field again, as he has done. Played a couple of great balls today. Some of the movement and the one-touch passing was really, really strong. But what I think has been evident over the last 3 friendlies in particular is the final ball and the lack of creation is still too low for me. Despite us going from one extreme to the other, from a sort of ultra-defensive system under Nuno, to sort of this quite attacking and high line system that we've seen over the last couple of weeks under Bruno Lage, I still think we do lack that little bit of bite up top. We saw, obviously, Cutrone and Fabio Silva again found themselves pockets of spaces at times. Both of them had decent link-up play at times, but I still feel without Raul Jimenez, we do not have that firepower to start knocking on the door again for top half or even top 7 finishes. If, God forbid, we have another injury to Raul Jimenez or a suspension or what have you, there's not enough firepower to get Wolves results at the moment. And I think, although, it's a friendly just a couple of days after, a really decent win over Real Betis, I think there's still areas, and that friendly may well have just sort of shown Fosun and GFC that there are areas that Wolves still need to strengthen and still need to improve. Let's go on to the goals anyway. First goal for Las Palmas. Wolves were caught out with that high line, ball over the top. Pretty disappointing, I think, but this is what I was talking about earlier, just sort of tightening that screws. You've gone from one extreme to the other. You've got to sort of be learning how to play this. And it was, they were finding those gaps in between the defenders. I do remember a similar sort of thing when Wolves switched from a 5 at the back to the 4 at the back at Southampton at home last season. It was a similar sort of thing because, you're not playing a system you're quite used to. And guy goes through on goal. Good save by Jose Sarr. And I think the guy is called Garcia, who ended up putting the ball into an empty net. So, disappointing goal. Very high line from Wolves, got caught in behind. And it wasn't too long after that. She went 2-0 up right before half-time. And it was actually Adalberto Penaranda from Watford. Been at Watford for a number of years. Many of you may know him, especially if you're maybe on the FIFA or Football Manager scene or whatever. And he ended up putting the goal away, putting the ball in the back of the net again. I think this is our own error and own mistake, really. Got caught with 2 little players. I think we had a set piece, got caught out, only having 1 or 2 men back, and he does really well on the ball. El Penaranda, very clever, spun Neves inside out, and then put the ball past Jose Sarr to make it 2-0 at half time. And at half time, I said the thing about the final ball, the clear-cut chances. I think if you're going to be playing a high line, you may well need to look at a more agile and quicker centre-half as well. Obviously, second half, we saw some changes. We saw John Ruddy come on. Mosquera stayed on. Christian Marquez we saw come on. Max Kilman, Ki-Jana Hoever, Luke Kundle, Morgan Gibbs-White and Leander Dendoncker, which is good to see him. And then we Hugo Bueno as well, who I've mentioned a couple of times over the last couple of reviews, and Patrick Cutrone and Fabio Silva. And Wolves got off to a really decent start to get ourselves back in the game. It was actually Hugo Bueno, the left wing back, with a really nice cross into the area. And Ki-Jana Hoever, of all people, with a fantastic finish. The cross came in and it sort of outswung in, so it came towards more the edge of the box. And Ki-Jana Hoever, first time hits it so sweet into the back of the net. A really, really nice goal. Great ball from Hugo Bueno as well, who, like I said, I've mentioned a couple of times before, and he's a player, whenever I watch him for the 23s, I do really like. I think he's got that similar sort of play style to Johnny. He's got that really sort of, I believe I read somewhere he came to Wolves as an attacking player, and he was sort of put as a left wing back by the academy team, and it worked quite well. A really, really good player to watch. And Wolves just sort of going for it a little bit more. We ended up seeing Patrick Cutrone and Fabio Silva come off for Renat Dadashov and Chem Campbell in the end. And but unfortunately, Wolves did go 3-1 down. It was Hugo Bueno that gave the ball away, just very, very sloppy, and they were able to put the ball in the back of the net. But I think in one way it's a positive, and one way it's a negative. That I feel personally we gifted them all 3 goals. And in one way, you know, like I said, as a positive, you can work on that. You can sort that out, find out the issues. But negative is obviously it's our own downfall. We managed to make it 3-2. That really, really nice goal. Jess on Mosquera, who has had so much praise on social media after his last performance on Saturday, and today he got loads of praise. Did really, really well. Played an unbelievable ball over the top for Morgan Gibbs-White, who again had quite a positive 45 minutes or so, and put the ball past the goalkeeper into the back of the net to make it 3-2. And despite us having obviously a decent amount of the ball, decent bit of pressure on them towards the end, Las Palmas did hold on for a 3-2 victory. But like I said, there were positives out of the game. We played just sort of less than 48 hours ago against a really strong Betis team as well. We saw the likes, of course, Raul Jimenez sit out today. I'm not too sure what the reason was, possibly because, obviously, like I said, we only played a couple of days ago. Willy Bolly, I'd assume, as a precaution as well, after he came off injured, wasn't in the team for today's game as well. But next weekend, got a couple of big fixtures. Stoke away and Coventry away, back-to-back days, so Saturday and Sunday. So we may well see something similar to what we saw today and on Saturday. Maybe players getting a lot shorter, maybe those 45-minute spells once again. But a defeat, but plenty of positives to take out of it. But I do think, looking at that team, I know when the teams have been posted and put out over the last couple of games or so, people have complained about it, and I'd sort of let it go over my head, thinking we've got players to come back from holiday, got players to come back from injuries. But today, I think it just showed that Wolves still do need to strengthen in a couple of areas, and they've still got a couple of weeks to do so. But we'll be back next weekend. As always, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts on today's game in the comment section. Until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.